Hello everyone and welcome back to WWE 2K14 Universe. I'm your host Rich and you're watching Superstars from Houston, Texas.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia, weighing 249 pounds, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that Jake the Snake Roberts, his career has gotten off to a bit of a hard start in the past. You know, he had a one-off appearance back in Season 1 in which he lost, and since coming and officially becoming a member of the Raw roster here in Season 4, Jake Roberts has not actually won a match just yet. I can't tell if that's the reason this guy always looks so bummed out, or if there's something else going on in his mind, but nonetheless, Jake Roberts is the new bottom-ranked superstar of Raw. Well, technically not. He's going to face off against one of the three new bottom-ranked superstars of Raw, and we'll see if Roberts can maybe prove that he's still better than some, or if he will continue to fall.
And approaching the ring from Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing 215 pounds, Dean Ambrose.
This is definitely not a guy you want to be standing across the ring from. I know a lot of people don't really know too much about the Shield just yet. They did very much come into the scene out of nowhere and really just dominate almost immediately over in NXT, immediately finding themselves out of the NXT scene. But that being said, I'm very interested in what's going to go down here tonight between Jake Roberts and Dean Ambrose. This is definitely a first time right here, I think. And of course, as I mentioned before, with the Shield becoming new members of Raw, they are the current bottom ranked 3 on the Raw roster. Here we go, Dean Ambrose and Jake Roberts starting things off. Roberts with a quick clothesline there. It was definitely not an easy choice for me to decide to leave this one down to neutrality, but I'm kind of trying to be a bit more open with that at the moment. I'm trying to just see where things actually go, like more naturally, more often, because I think that kind of makes it a little more interesting to me. I don't always want to predetermine everything. Roberts with a big right hand. Shield, as I mentioned before, very impressive down in NXT, but now they're in the big time. Now they are on the grander stage. Obviously, they got a little bit of a ways to go. They're still the very bottom guys here on Superstars right now, which is where the lower ranked from Raw and SmackDown go, as well as, of course, an additional Divas match. The Divas don't really have a very bottom-ranked woman, as there are only 10 of them, so they admittedly kind of just fluctuate between the shows. Kind of something around the Divas Championship scene tends to take place on Raw, whereas something just a little bit more to get the other Divas booked seems to happen here on Superstars. Like up next, we've got AJ Lee against Tiny Shiny. I haven't seen Tiny Shiny in a little while, but AJ Lee has been very much taking loss after loss this season, so we'll see if that continues, or if she can get a little bit of momentum over a very successful former multi-time women's champion. Either way, I feel like this is an interesting matchup. Two people that you really just don't know what's going on in the minds of. Jake Roberts and Dean Ambrose. I like this match a lot on paper. And I've got to say, so far, Jake Roberts looking a little bit more promising than usual. Of course, I mentioned this before, the rosters are made up of roughly, I think it's 28 men. So with that being said, anyone below the 14 mark can find themselves on Superstars. If you're closer to the kind of 20 to 14 mark, you can still be utilized on Raw, but it's those bottom guys that really will not find themselves on Raw, only here on Superstars. Like these two right now, and that knee to the face of Ambrose could be the end of it, but Ambrose is able to kick out. I gotta say, Jake Roberts is actually looking great in this match here tonight. Ambrose seems to be having a real hard time taking control. Ambrose takes the fight to the outside. In just 2.5 minutes, I notice Ambrose is favoring the head. This guy is damn near out of this match. And it seems like he has decided now to come a little bit unhinged and to change that. This would be Jake Roberts' first ever victory if he was to beat Dean Ambrose here tonight. And here we see it, the DDT. Little known fact, that guy is the originator of that move, a living legend in the wrestling world in that sense. Just because he hasn't found his footing in this universe just yet does not mean that he is not an incredible opponent, and that is why I think Dean Ambrose is having such a hard time here tonight. Towering over Roberts. The back and forth continuing, but it is Roberts continuing to be in control. You notice Ambrose, in very typical Ambrose fashion, he's bleeding. He's actually never done that in this universe before, I just wanted to make the joke. Ambrose reaching for those ropes, he's got to be careful, this could be the end of it. A rope break's just not a thing anymore. Literally watched his hand brush those ropes twice. And I believe that Roberts is about to win this match because he is spamming the submission moves. Headbutt out of that one from Ambrose and a float over neck breaker. And Dean Ambrose be a little bit more ruthless with this one now, making this a little bit more personal, choking the man out. And again, 2 chokeholds from Dean Ambrose. Referee once again not stepping foot in there and doing something about that. It is actually his job to ensure the safety of these guys, to make sure they abide by the rules. That's what a referee's supposed to do, for anyone that didn't know that. And he ain't doing it. I mean, obviously they're also supposed to help count the pin, determine who's won. He ain't doing much of that either. I think Jake Roberts has got this. Ambrose with a kick out. Interesting to see no sign of Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins in this one. Ambrose is not here to fight this fight alone. That ain't working out too well for him. He might need his brothers in arms at his side a little more than they're currently letting on. Ambrose, I believe this is the hook and ladder. He goes for the cover here. And now Ambrose with that headlock driver generally finishes off his matches with that one. Dragging Jake Roberts away from the corner. Smart move. Dean Ambrose into the cover. Is that enough? No. A move that has won Dean Ambrose matches in the past, including, I believe, a pinfall victory over the NXT champion Andre the Giant, was not enough to put away Jake the Snake right now. It's a completely different fight when you're not on NXT anymore, and that is what that is what Ambrose is learning right now. Jake Roberts has never been on NXT. He could be if he continues to fall. He could very well be the next Earn Your Spot match. Submission hold here by Dean Ambrose. Jake Roberts has really got nowhere to go, and that's a forced out submission, and another fall from grace for Roberts. Well, I gotta think that's a little bit of a rankings climb victory there for Dean Ambrose.
Here is your winner, Dean Ambrose.
Keep up performances that impressive, and we may very well be seeing these guys on Raw sooner than later. Big victory here tonight for Dean Ambrose, able to knock off Jake the Snake Roberts with that submission hold. And the night must continue, and it will continue, for that matter. As up next, it is Divas Action. Tiny Shiny facing off against AJ Lee.
The following Divas contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, AJ Lee.
Oh, he changed the way he says it. He doesn't go AJ Lee. I probably already reacted to that before, but you know what I said before about like how there's been like a really huge gap in recordings? Yeah, that didn't just suddenly go away, so sorry, but I still don't remember certain things that I've reacted to and or said. Well, AJ Lee here on Superstars. I feel like this might be a first for her. I mean, she probably competed on here before and I just don't remember, but this feels like a first for her. Wow, Tiny Shiny song is quiet.
And approaching the
Wow.
ring from the United Kingdom, Tiny 60.
Tiny 60! Well, Tiny Shaw coming on down to the ring. Big explosions and all. multi-time women's champion, currently not in contention for the championship, and AJ Lee very much is in that same boat. She was very successful, she was very promising, but unfortunately right now she's not in contention. One of these two needs this momentum more than the other. Straight away these two going straight into it, no hesitation. Quick, effective, awesome. Got some action from SmackDown up next in our main event, as CM Punk is set to face off against Rey Mysterio. A lengthy feud that took place a few years back gets revisited, and we'll see which one of those two can maybe find themselves off. Believe it or not, Rey Mysterio, currently I believe he is ranked 20 of the 28 on SmackDown, so he is very deep into it after that loss to Eddie Guerrero. While CM Punk, I believe, is ranked, I think 14, 16, somewhere around there. He's very close to not really even needing to be here on Superstars. So this is an important match for Rey Mysterio, but obviously CM Punk has been dealing with quite a significant fall from grace as of late. So that main event is going to be very interesting to see if that continues, or if Rey can find himself maybe a little higher up as well.
Temple. Well scouted there by the Diva AJ. She misses with a wild strike.
You'll have to forgive me if I fall a little quiet towards the end of this show. I don't normally do NXT before SmackDown, but I didn't have enough time because our toilet broke down after Raw. So I kind of had to stop recording when I did Raw the other day. And now I'm doing NXT, SmackDown, and Superstars in one setting, so my voice is a little more fried than usual right now, because that's a lot of recording in one setting. I'm trying to just get as many videos to upload as possible for this, and it's been working, sort of. I haven't actually been uploading them, but I've got a lot. I've got like 2 weeks worth in universe, not to actually upload. I've probably got about a week's worth out of that.
Oh man, did you hear that? Just a battle of wills. What a nasty elbow. And there's the flying forearm. Each of these competitors.
Big boot there by Tiny Shiny. She does like to kick people. Over the leg of AJ Lee. Tiny Shiny, I think, has been very, very much in control here. And, ooh! Just breaking the neck of AJ Lee damn near. Cover attempt. Of course that was it. Don't believe we've seen Tiny Shiny bust that one out before. That was new. It wasn't just new. It was effective. Oh, I hit the microphone. I was just so excited by it. I hit the microphone. Tiny 60.
This one wasn't even close.
Well, a very dominant victory for Tiny Shiny, and I think AJ Lee really does need to go back to the drawing board pretty badly right now. Things have not been working out for her, and I don't feel like there's much further she can fall at this rate. So I feel like AJ Lee, well, I just feel like there isn't really a lot going on for her right now, honestly. Anyway, Tiny Shiny is victorious. And we still have one more match for you here tonight on Superstars. So up next, CM Punk and Rey Mysterio reignite an old spark as they face off one-on-one.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 222 pounds,
Well, I got some big news regarding this matchup, and thankfully neither of these two know about it, so it'll be an added bonus for them. But we have been told that the Money in the Bank qualifiers will start next week on SmackDown, and that the winner of this match here tonight will determine who will be in the first Money in the Bank qualifying match to take place, kicking off next week's SmackDown. The winner of this match will face off against Christian. So that, I think, is quite an interesting little raised stake. And as I said before, I'm actually kind of glad that these guys don't know what they're competing for, that this was decided in some form of privacy, and that I'm allowed to break the news as they're on their way to the ring and they don't actually realize what it is that they're contesting for. Because I think it's a nice little added bonus to whoever wins. Obviously, I do feel like it could help maybe add some motivation to this matchup to maybe get the best match possible out of the both of them. But the SmackDown Money in the Bank briefcase will be up for stake, up for grabs 6 weeks from tomorrow night at Money in the Bank. What a classic rivalry we've got to relive in this one too. I'm looking forward to this match a lot.
And approaching the ring from San Diego, California, weighing 175 pounds, Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio looking like a pack of bubble gum right now as he makes his way to the ring. Gonna face off against CM Punk, reliving such a big rivalry from SmackDown, well, I think 2 years ago. These two could not be kept apart. They had such a lengthy feud. I wonder if this will get that spark going again for the both of them. Bell has been wrong, and CM Punk straight in on the offense there. But Punk able to turn things around very quickly. Fans support of CM Punk here tonight. Someone who is, I think he's had better days. I don't necessarily think that he's as bad as maybe some people feel that he is these days. But I do still agree that he has had better days. And I think it's just a matter of time until he's back on his feet, is the only difference, I'd say, between maybe some of the opinions I've heard and that of my own. Bending.
What a match this is going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, big DDT.
Alright, nice arm drag there to CM Punk. Wonder if Christian's even aware of this. This match is going on right now, that he'll be in the first Money in the Bank qualifier. I can't actually tell you what the other Money in the Bank qualifiers will be on SmackDown. We'll be seeing 3 Money in the Bank qualifiers in one night. So I'm really very much looking forward to finding out who comes out on top of any of those. Also coming your way this upcoming Friday on SmackDown, we've got Mark Henry up against the European Champion Sheamus in a Money in the Bank qualifier. As well as that, we've got Edge and Robert Scorpio one-on-one in a Money in the Bank qualifier. The main event that week, as I mentioned before, will be an Intercontinental Championship bout between Bret Hart and Ultimate Warrior, but also to look forward to on that episode of SmackDown, John Cena is going to go one-on-one with the man that has been playing mind games with him for the last few weeks, Randy Orton, in a #1 contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, with no way out, Raw's next big stop, I believe, 2 weeks from Sunday, 2 weeks from tomorrow. It's time to find out who will be defending the SmackDown Championships on that pre-PV episode of SmackDown. And with that, we will be finding out who will be challenging Damien Sandow first for his World Heavyweight Championship, whilst the former champion Triple H recovers from injury. Coming up your way on Raw next week, in case you're interested in finding out what's going on there, Randy Savage will be in action to kick the show off as he faces off against Brodus Clay. We've got a #1 contenders match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. 3MB set to face off against the Real Americans. No telling who from 3MB that will be, but 3MB will be in action. Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated Dolph Ziggler this past Monday on Raw. Well, in 2 days' time, he'll be facing off against another hungry contender for the United States Championship in Cody Rhodes. One of those two will meet Ziggler for the US title at No Way Out. Natalya will be defending the Divas Championship against Nikki Bella after Nikki Bella continues to impress week in and week out in her slow rise to the top. And after he sat by at ringside and watched Hulk Hogan face off against Shawn Michaels, I have been told that the NWO, Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash, will face off against The Rock and Hulk Hogan in the main event. And because I'm already going through them, I might as well tell you that this week on NXT as well, you can look forward to David Otunga, the new tag team champion, facing off against one of the most lethal men to be pissed off at the fact that they are not the tag team champion, and that is King Kong Bundy. Otunga and Bundy will be kicking off that week's episode of NXT. We've also got the New Millennium set to face off against Sergeant Slaughter and Big John Studd in tag team action. And in the main event, as mentioned before, Andre the Giant will defend the NXT Championship for the first time ever. And it will be against Big E Langston, the man he met in the tournament finals. And screw it, because I've already gone through so much as it is, I will tell you guys as well that on Superstars, this time next week, you can look forward to Tiny Shiny in action again as he faces off against Aksana. Rick Rude will be here as he faces off against Scott Steiner. And in the main event of next week's episode of Superstars, Kofi Kingston meets Seth Rollins. That is what is coming your way all of next week. So you can look forward to all of those matches. And that's why you should watch Superstars. I try not to incentivize, but I also think it's kind of fun to... because I know Superstars, sorry, I know Superstars quite naturally is the show that a lot of people just give a miss. I feel like I could literally put like Randy Orton and Triple H in the thumbnail and like people still wouldn't watch Superstars. So I sometimes I like to just put like little hidden gems, little things that are like, if you've watched this show, you now know about something that the others are going to have to wait and see or whatever. It's kind of my way of saying thanks for giving this show a chance, because I know the real life Superstars, main event, those kinds of shows, people really didn't give them a chance. And based on the YouTube viewerships that I see, the same applies in this as well, because for some reason, even though I keep saying that I handle my universe completely differently to the real thing, people don't really understand that, and they continue to treat them as if they were the real shows. I don't really care, but... yeah, if you're watching this and you're ever wondering why it is that you get some inside information when you watch Superstars, that's why. I just wanted to show my appreciation, as Jerry Lawler pronounces it, for the people that actually watch these episodes, because I know these definitely don't do as well. They do still do alright, don't get me wrong, but it's just a little reward in my opinion. Fans chanting for Rey Mysterio. They might not need to do that for much longer, because, oh, that could lead to a concussion. Rey Mysterio's head colliding with that side of the ring, and he's still going. Don't let that stop you, Rey. I always think he says Eddie reversed it. It always confuses me. Roll up attempted by CM Punk. Will he get this victory here? Yes! Rey Mysterio, unfortunately, is just that little bit out of his luck lately. And with that, I can confirm that it will be CM Punk and Christian in a Money in the Bank qualifier. Oh, what lady is... Oh, no. Eddie. Oh, no, 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 no. Eddie. Eddie's stomping down. Enough already. You've already proven your point. CM Punk has even had enough. Saving Rey Mysterio from Eddie Guerrero. This is a match I want to see at some point. Eddie Guerrero knocked down of the ring. And CM Punk making it abundantly clear that he maybe doesn't always see eye to eye with Rey Mysterio, but he wasn't going to sit back and watch Rey Mysterio get taken out by Eddie Guerrero. Well, perhaps we've got a new alliance on our hands here, or perhaps they both just have a common enemy. Either way, I really wish Eddie would just leave Rey alone, man. CM Punk defeats Rey Mysterio. He will meet Christian for the Money in the Bank qualifier this upcoming Friday on SmackDown, and I'll see you there. Goodbye.